Well, we haven't done this since like last year, Joe.
I know
And
it's been so
how do
long. 2022 is so far in the rear view mirror.
I don't even remember it. It's like a dream.
Ah,
Are you welcome to the Valleycast, Joe?
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes. I think it starts with your
welcome to the Valleycast, Elliot.
Thank you. I'm assuming Steve is still slumbering. Kevin is working, and we said, hey, let's get up early. Let's chat. Let's have fun with boys being boys.
Let's knock it out.
Catch up. Should we talk about current events, New Year's resolutions, things we've seen online, or entertainment we've been consuming?
I think we could probably.
Or God.
Or God.
It's up to you. Or God.
We could partake in all of them.
I have no preferences. But we could
I want
to
hear a little bit. I know you went on your massive, crazy Florida tour.
Yes.
I want to hear about that trip a little bit and the travel nightmare, because you guys went during holy crap, travel was nuts time.
Yes. So travel was nuts. Joe, thank you for asking. And everyone, thank you. Welcome to the Valleycast. And I'm Elliot Morgan. This is Joe Barrett. Joe, let me tell you about my journey. So the night before we left, we do this thing every year. We've done it for the last 4 years, where we will go to Philadelphia, then Jersey, then Florida, then back to LA. So we cover the vast majority of the geographic area of the continental United States by way of plane. And the day before we were leaving,
that's a massive, just like F you to the Northwest. I'm just saying, massive F you.
As I said, the parts that matter. And so anyway, the real part, real America. And so the day before we're leaving, Grace's mom and stepdad are texting her like, just so you know, there's a blizzard coming through, which was named Elliot.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I turned into a bomb cyclone at one point, and
Elliot.
It devastated a lot of people, and you're welcome. And I'm sorry. And so then we were like, we don't have to go. We don't need to actually, I was like, well, wait, we gotta go. And Grace was like, if we're gonna get stuck in Detroit because we had a layover, we shouldn't go because we might be stuck in Detroit for all of Christmas. And we were like, we don't be stuck in Detroit for all of Christmas.
That's the start of a Hallmark movie if I've ever heard of one.
Exactly. But we're already so in love. How does it end?
It's called Detroit for Christmas.
Exactly. Yes, Detroit. A Detroit Christmas. And so we woke up the next morning and it looked like we could make it. And we were like, screw it, let's do it. We had the smoothest flight there. It was absolutely wonderful. It was so cold in Philadelphia. It was colder than I've ever experienced. It was snow everywhere. And then we thought, oh, that's definitely the worst that it could possibly be. And then we went to Florida, Joe. And let me tell you something.
Pause.
Yes, pause.
Elaboration. What was the coldest that you'd ever felt? How cold was it there?
It was single digits, I believe.
Oh, so your first single digit experience.
That as an adult, I would say, that I could remember. I don't know if you know this, Joe, but you do, because you are from Montana. There is a certain kind of cold from which you cannot escape.
Dude, yeah. In the East Coast, it's different, too, because on the East Coast, it, chills you to the bone. It's a little different than... Oof.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because it did chill us to the bone, and it felt like spikes going into my body. And I was like, at one point, the first night, we're outside for a second. We're walking to and fro, checking out Grace's brother's new place. It was really nice. And then Grace and I were walking back, and she looks at me and she's like, we don't have to do this anymore. We don't need to do this next year. We're adults. And I was like, we can go somewhere else. And she was like, we can go somewhere else. I was like, we could go to Mexico. She's like, we could go to Mexico. And I was like, let's go to Mexico next year. So we basically immediately decided we're not doing this trip again.
Cold?
For a second.
Horrible cold like that? Not even horrible cold, just being cold in general. It can shut your body down. So bad, it makes you not want to do anything. I think I've told you the story before, but I was walking home from a friend's house, when I was freaking 10, 11 years old or something. It was kind of later at night, and I was walking home. It was 3 blocks, and at one point, I just go, "This sucks. I'm tired," and I laid down in the snow and almost just gave up and fell asleep in the snow on the side of the road.
Might just die.
Yeah,
it's really cold. I might just go ahead and die.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I considered it for a concerning amount of time, especially for how old I was.
I guess I should. Yeah, my parents will be pissed if I just die. Okay,
I should go. I'm just gonna lay right here.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be safe. And so that's kind of what it was. And then we went to Jersey, and that was nice. So then, Joe, we go to Florida. Our flight's delayed a little bit, not too bad. We end up making it to Tampa. On the way to Tampa, my entire family gets food poisoning.
Oof.
And not food poisoning
What was the culprit?
Apparently, we figured it out later.
A pear.
It was a pear. You know, it was that Christmas pear, that Morgan.
Apparently.
Apparently, it was a pear. It was the Morgan pear, and which we have every year. But I was like, what happened? Like, how did everyone, like my brother and sister-in-law, the kids, and my mom, my dad had avoided it, but he was still sick from RSV. And so everyone was just a mess. No one would come out. Every plan got canceled.
Oh.
And so then Grace and I were just like in Florida chilling, being healthy and not doing anything and going out. It was kind of nice. But then everyone started feeling better. A bunch of other people then got sick. And now everyone, I think, is still sick. And hopefully everyone feels better. But it was a stomach virus. Apparently the norovirus is my understanding. And it was just pure vomiting nonstop all night as we were landing on the plane. And everyone was like, we just can't. Like, I came in to say hi to my mom because my dad picked us up from the airport. We dropped off some stuff, and she was, like, in bed, like, with a trash can next to her, like, ready to throw up constantly, and it was just terrible. And so, anyway, that was our holiday experience, and then we were like, okay, we're going to go, guys, and we ended up being able to do, like, a Christmas exchange, and then other people got sick, and it was all just an absolute... it was a crapshoot, but it was fun. It was fun. It was nice to do it. It was also... And then, okay, so then we're coming back. We're going home, no problem. We're all excited, and we're like, okay, we're headed back. The first plane gets delayed, and then we're like, okay, I don't know if we're going to be able to make the connection. And so we run across the airport at Dallas-Fort Worth, and we're running with our suitcases, and then that plane gets delayed, and then we are sitting there, and then we finally get on the plane, and then they take off, and everything's pretty well and good, except then we land, and I look out the window, Joe, and sometimes I'll do this because I get bored on flights. I look at my phone, and I'll look at the map, and I'll be like, here's the blue dot. Look at how fast it's moving because we're in a plane. Excited because I'm like an 11-year-old. And then I look at it, and I'm like, well, we're pretty low to the ground. Like, we're about to land. And this says that Burbank Airport is 35 miles away. And I was like, I don't know that we're going to be, how are we, this plane must be going really fast still, even though I can still kind of see buildings closer and closer. And I was like, as we land, I see this big Boeing building. And I was like, I don't think Burbank has a big Boeing building. Burbank Airport's a very small airport. And then they land, and I start hearing people chatter, and they're all confused. And I look outside, and I'm like, Grace is sleeping. She wakes up, and I go, baby, this is not the airport that we were supposed to land at. And then the captain gets on, and he's like, "Hey, everybody, sorry for the sudden diversion, but the clouds were so low in Burbank, and the landing, whatever you call it, was so wet that we couldn't do it, so we had to come to LAX." And everyone was like, well, what do we do now? And he's like, "Good luck, bye." Yeah, and then and that's it. And then he goes, "The good news is we have a gate assigned. The bad news is it's going to be at least 40 minutes before we can get to it." So then we're sitting on the plane, and then we're like, okay, this is getting comically terrible. And then they bring us up to the gate. This is the best part, Joe. I've never seen this. You know the little sky bridge that they bring out and they attach it to the plane?
Yes, sir.
They couldn't get that to work to save their lives, and we could see them inside there, and there were like 10 people, and they were trying their darndest to get this thing to connect. So that took another 20 to half hour, and we're sitting there going like, please let us off the plane. Please let us off the plane.
Just use the slide. Please use the slide.
Please, anything. Yeah, I was like, I know the instructions. I know how we can get out of this thing, and there's a door back there. And eventually they got it. And then the luggage got misdirected to somewhere else. Then we got into an Uber finally after walking to the Laxit lot in the middle of the night, basically, and getting yelled at by construction workers. And I almost yelled back, but I didn't because I thought that would be rude. And then we got into the Uber car, and she starts telling us, immediately she starts talking to us. This is probably 3:30 in the morning Florida time, or at least our physical body time. And she starts just going off about how, like, which I instigated it, but she was like, mermaids are real. She was like, there's aliens. She was like, I'm a criminal justice person. I'm in law school, and there's aliens, and there's we're being prepared for an alien invasion, And Grace is on her phone, and I kind of like reach over and like grab her knee, like, you're gonna want to probably listen to this. This is gonna be good stuff. And then I started asking questions, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I've heard like that they might be like underwater, and she's like, oh, absolutely, they're underwater. And I was like, are those the mermaids or are those different? And she was like, no, those are different. And I was like, okay. She was like, do you ever see a lot of animals die at once? And I was like, that's not a question I expected to be asked in this scenario.
I mean, the answer's yes, but I did not expect to say yes today.
Yeah, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm aware of it happening due to many different factors. I was like, I know in Florida they have a thing called red tide where all these fish will pop up and they'll be dead, but I think that's because of an increased amount of nitrogen in the water that causes the red tide.
Where'd that nitrogen come from?
She goes, no, it's not the nitrogen. And I was like, oh. And she was like, it's the Navy practicing sonar as a part of an upcoming war with otherworldly creatures. And she was like, also, they follow me. They listen to me and they track me. She's like, they listen in on my my phone calls.
No. You were in the car with this person for a long time.
Yeah, and then she seemed normal up until that point. I find that when people, she really didn't, but I find that when people think that they're being followed, or listened to, or that people are sending them coded messages, very often they're not. And I hate to burst people's bubble if that's happening too, but it's
you're such a
sometimes
skeptic.
I know. It's who I am.
I just love the idea though of like, this is like a movie. Like you're in the car, you're hearing that, then they follow me sometimes, and you're like, okay. And then you just kind of like the drone hits. It's like, boing. And then you look behind you, and there's a fucking mermaid driving a car.
A mermaid and an alien in a black car wearing a suit and tie. Yeah, I was gonna be like, yeah, I can't believe they're following you like that. That's crazy. I mean, why would you be an Uber driver? Because it seems like they could just hop in the car with you at any time. But then we get home, and there's coyotes everywhere. It was like we had a very mythical return home. A lot of different animals and characters and
coyotes in little tuxedos welcoming you back to your abode, opening the door, handing you a charcuterie plate.
Yep, still wearing Santa hats.
They start singing, "Welcome back, we ate the rats."
And so then this woman starts being like, "Oh, you are so beautiful! Oh my gosh, you are so beautiful!" I'm like, coyotes are not. I wouldn't list them. Beautiful wouldn't be the first term that I would use. Sometimes they're cool looking.
This was the Uber driver was saying that?
Yeah. And I was like, well, I just hope they're not like, we've gotten so many alerts from neighbors being like, our cat has gone missing and the coyotes are everywhere and people are worried about their cats being murdered by the coyotes. And I was like, oh, I just hope they're not killing the neighbors' cats. And then that was like the last thing I said to the driver. And then we went home, went up and passed out. So that was my journey, man.
She gave you a 2-star rating as a writer.
Yes. Yep. She was, the thing is, she seemed normal, except the words that were coming out of her mouth. Everything else seemed great. She had a great sense of humor. She was talking about how she was flirting with some driver of hers and embarrassed herself. It was like very human. And then it went very mermaid, very alien, very dark. And it was just, people are fascinating. And it was a nice button to the end of the trip.
As nice a button as you can get. Look, people may be like, you're still in LA, blah, blah. People, unless you've experienced it, you do not know the true nightmare difference it is between landing in Burbank, especially if you live in Burbank or very close, and landing in freaking LAX.
Especially if you pay extra to land in Burbank. And because it is so worth it that you're like, and you spend all day going, at least we're landing in Burbank. At least we have that going. It's 20 minutes from home. One carousel for the luggage. Easy peasy. And then walking into LAX felt like God mocking us.
Yeah, for sure. And that drive is anywhere from like an hour to an hour and a half, depending on when you're doing it. And it's a significant difference. Plus the extra fucking 100 plus you probably spent on that Uber.
Yep, exactly. It was horrible.
Ugh.
But you know what? Things happen. It was wonderful. Everyone was in good spirits.
You're here. You're not throwing up everywhere. You're not.
I'm not. I'm healthy as a horse.
Oof.
Haven't gotten COVID. Haven't gotten flu. Haven't gotten RSVP. No stomach virus. Craziness.
You're still COVID. Co-virgin. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm like Neo in the Matrix.
Or Matt Damon in Contagion. Look at you.
Yes.
Look at you.
I have some kind of genetic thing, but
or you had it and you didn't know.
I think that's probably what it was. Yeah, I think I was probably had it a couple times at the beginning. But anyway, what's up with you, man? How's your experience?
Well, experience is okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm trying to think of anything that specific that was fun or happened, but it's been such a laid back break with the kids on. The kids are on break. I had a small little break from work.
Are you still on that break, or are you back?
Not back, but the break was one of those breaks where it's like you're on break, but like you're checking Slack. You know what I mean? So not the most like exhaling version of a break, but it is all right. Been playing a lot of Mario Party because Jackson got that from Santa for Christmas, and that game still is one of the best worst games ever created. I've never played anything where you can put so much like. It's so based on like chance and manipulation by the AI associated with it that it's just like, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. It doesn't matter how good you are.
Chaos.
It's just chaos and anything can happen. And that's the way the programmers wanted it to be, that anything and everyone, it's just so funny watching people's worlds crumble second by second when we play that game. Do you remember playing that game?
Yeah, is that the game that we played where it's like a board game? Kinda,
yes.
And okay, yeah, that game never really hooked me.
No, it's ridiculous. You can be the best video game player on the world, win every single game, every part of it, but then the AI just flips and it's like, oh, you got 17 stars, and that's the point of the game? Congratulations. Now we're at the end of the game. Your opponent gets 18 bonus stars for wearing red. It's like, fuck you.
Oh, great.
And if you get anybody that's even slightly competitive playing that game in any way, shape, or form, they just lose their goddamn mind.
That's like, we'll be playing Mario Kart a lot now. We play that some over the trip, and Grace is not used to it, and so when she's in first, and then that blue shell comes along and gets
inevitably.
Why is this happening? And I'm like, oh, game is made for you to lose if you're winning, and made for you to win if you're losing. That's Equalizer. And I got Mario Odyssey for Christmas.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if you'll enjoy that. That one is it is a hodgepodge clusterfuck of a billion ideas that come together into one game.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad, but it has not scratched that Zelda itch yet.
It's not going to scratch your Zelda itch at all.
No.
It might scratch your Mario itch.
It's kind of like Zelda for like little kids, which is fine.
Yeah, there's a really cool musical moment in the game that I'd never really experienced before. Really? If you can get to that point, dude, the blue shell. What is the blue shell in Mario Kart if it's nothing but like a metaphor for celebrity culture life?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. I think it's political correctness gone mad.
Probably both. But just like. You know, you get built up, you put people on a pedestal, and then you just want to see them fall, and you hit them with that blue shell, and you fucking rejoice.
Oh, you having fun up there in first? Well, I'm back here in 8.
Here comes my blue shell.
It's not going to make a difference for me, but it'll make me feel good. Yeah, I'm a gamer now.
The bullet that matters for 8. The bullet is the next level.
Oh, yeah, bullet's great. You hit other people with it now. That's really fun.
Yeah, what's the bullet? Winning the lottery, perhaps? Is that the metaphor? I don't know what that bullet is.
Yeah, the ascension. It's it's just hard work and dedication, bro.
That's what it is.
That's what. Oh yeah, that's what it is. What was so you did? All right, you did Mario Party, and then you did New Year's. How's the kids do? Are they happy with their loot?
Yeah, we had I appreciated our Christmas this year because there's been many other years where I feel like they get it's an overwhelming and anxiety inducing amount of just stuff. Sometimes, you got family members sending stuff. Sometimes the parents go overboard a little bit, and I sit there on Christmas. I'm like, this is establishing a level of reality that isn't necessarily true, and I hope they're not taking it for granted. I know they're taking it for granted. I hate it. There's wrapping everywhere. But this year it wasn't like that. I feel like the loot was an appropriate amount for people to be excited about their things and not forget about certain things that happened because there's too many other little things. So yeah, it was laid back. It was just a laid back Christmas.
Nice.
which I liked. And then yesterday I tore down. I was like, this will take me an hour. I tore down all the decorations. Took me 6 hours.
Really? Wow, that's a lot of decorations. That's a whole lot of decorations.
It's a lot, and it's just putting it into storage and then rearranging storage and all that crap. Yada yada yada.
Where's storage?
We have very limited storage downstairs in the
right
the garage area. Yeah. So
cubbies.
So now it's over.
Storage.
Our blitz is over. I have this like horrible, like, depending on the type of person you are or where you are in your life, what I'm about to talk about is either kind of anxiety-inducing and not the most fun, or it is the way you handle it is full of joy and you're able to just be lost in the moment. And I haven't been able to be lost in the moment during this blitz for a very long time, just because of where we are, our station in life, financials and Heather's health and stuff like that. But
uncertainty, general
uncertainty, survival mode. Starting August 30th, I think I may have probably already talked about this on the podcast, but starting on August 30th, it begins a fall blitz for our family that is a never-ending series of parties and holidays. We go Jackson's birthday, and then we go Hayden's birthday, and then we go Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Halloween, my birthday, Thanksgiving, Heather's birthday, Christmas, New Year's, families. My dad's birthday is in there too. So is my brother's birthday, and then New Year's hits, and you're like, we made it through the blitz, and then the tax emails start coming.
I know. Gosh, I mean, thankfully it's easier than it has been in the past for bad reasons, but it's I hate taxes so much, and that is like the thing that happens right after New Year's, where I'm like, it's coming.
Then you go, I'm gonna do it early this year, and then you file an extension.
Yeah.
4 months later. So
and it comes back. Yeah, it's terrible. That I had no idea it was that many parties and holidays.
Dude, and you're sprinkling in there like the kids are at the age where their friends have birthdays and parties and stuff like that. And there's a number of those too, and it's just like, I want to enjoy these things. When does it end? But I don't enjoy it because I'm the one that's looking at the bank account, and
it's draining.
Yeah,
drains it.
It's just, I wish I had a healthier relationship with like the financial side of life and God giving me money. I get the stress from my dad. Like, I watched my dad stress out over money growing up, and I think that was passed on to me.
Yeah.
But I think that, of course, there's a healthier way to do it. And there's two ways to do that: better financial planning, using no more frequently, and then there's and we're not even like a spendthrift family. We're not, we're not indulging and making a lot of purchases. It's just,
oh no.
But then the other healthy version is just like, and I wish I had this, but right now I don't, is, it'll all work out. It's fine. Fuck it. Like, I don't have that.
I have that, and I have to say there's probably a happy medium between the two scenarios, because my parents hid from me whether they were financially struggling all throughout childhood, to the point that I just never assumed that they were. I would hear kind of hints of it, but they were very good about keeping that stress away, and as a result, now I walk around going, all right, well, what's the big deal? That sounds like a future problem. And then I just kick it down to the future, and man, it's crazy. I keep meeting up with the future that I kick stuff down to, and it's
the worst. I don't get it. And then you hate yourself in that moment, and then you're like battling past Elliot, and then that doesn't help your anxiety and your depression.
Yeah, because then past Elliot, I'm like, oh, hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed what you did. You're an irresponsible piece of crap. So anyway, what's your New Year's resolutions, man? Let's talk. Let's get down to brass tacks, because I if you have any, I went ham this year. I went.
I'll let you go. You go ham. I'd like to hear your ham versions, and I'll tell you my versions that were very casual but became very real. After a doctor's appointment.
Oh, okay. I'm curious what this is going to be, because mine is this is a big one. guys, this is going to be, if you're listening, this is a buckle up. This is a 1 year no drinking.
Oh, good.
Yes.
What was the impetus?
The impetus was I did the math on how much I drank last year. And if you spread them out over 2 years, I could probably take 2024 off as well. And I was like, I did enough between the marriage and the everything and the travel. I was like, and then I was watching these like psychologists that I like watching.
Post-pandemic life, like that also led.
Yep, a lot of like just being like, this is. I was reading up on it, and I was like, I wonder what it would be like if I could say a year from now I just didn't drink, and how much time that would free up, how much money that would save. And so that's kind of the goal. But a year, thinking about it in terms of a year is stressful because my mind automatically goes to like, we go to a bar or hanging out or like doing something like that. And it's like wanting to have a beer. And then I go like, well, I really don't need to do that. It's just your brain gets trained to think that that's the way you need to do things. And so I just try to break it down into smaller increments. So I'll say it's dry January, and then I'll try to do dry February. If I can make it 6 months, and then I'll be like, maybe I'll have some. But I hope I can go the whole year. Just to say I did, I think it'd be fun.
I think you'll make it.
I think it'd be cool.
Why not?
Yeah, it'll be nice. Why not? I mean, it's just literally going, I'm not doing it for a year. And that makes it a little bit more like easier than going, I'm just not doing it. It just seems all the research too is like this stuff is really unhealthy for you in any quantity, despite the lies that we were brought up with that you can have a little bit here, a little bit there.
Oh no,
that
it's
actually
bad.
Can be good for you.
It
just increases. It's like 57% more likelihood of dementia if you are a moderate to heavy drinker. And I was like, I don't want to have dementia. That's like the saddest thing. So anyway, yeah, that's my New Year's resolution. So fingers crossed. Oh crap! This is whiskey. Shit.
Oh no, you fell into it. Mine is very similar. Because
I had a feeling if you were saying doctor stuff.
Well, the you know how I will handle it. I'll go like, I'm not going to do it for a while. I'll go like, I'm not going to drink for like 3 months, 4 months, or something like that, and then I'll stop. I was definitely not doing that during the holidays, and a little bit before that was enjoying my beer, probably more than usual, and I think that's another number of factors leading to that, and. I'm not much of a red meat eater. Like I eat a lot of chicken and I eat a lot of like turkey when we make tacos and stuff like that. But every once in a while I'll make like a beef stew or something. But I was going ham for whatever reason for the last 2 months. Like a lot of red meat kind of like filtered into my life.
Ham on beef? You were going ham on beef?
Ham on beef, on pork. But I had like a bub just as like, eating differently and my diet changed. And I'm on a testosterone supplement. That I started a year ago because my testosterone levels were very low because I'm beta as fuck.
Wait, you can get testosterone supplements?
Yes.
Write this down.
Yes, sir.
From your doctor?
My levels were literally 0, so I needed to bump them up. So all of those factors together led to something where I was like, I've been playing a little bit of basketball a couple times a week, and I finish on a Tuesday night and I go home and then I wake up the next day and my foot's like hurting, like my pinky toe. Like, oh no, did I sprain it? Nothing happened yesterday. That sucks. That'll go away. Next day doesn't go away, gets a little worse. It's kind of like I'm limping. It's hard. So I'm like, fuck, I broke my foot. I sprained it really bad. And I go through the holidays. I'll give it another week and a half. Fuck, I guess I'll go to urgent care. Go to urgent care. I sit down in this like young, I guess not quite a doctor. Maybe he was a doctor, but like young, I think like just starting out. He's like, so what's up, dude? And I was like, yeah, well, I think I might have broke my foot. And he goes, oh, what happened? Where is it? And I point to the spot right next to my pinky toe, that little ball right next to your pinky toe. I go right here. It hurts. I feel like I sprained it or broke it. I don't know what happens. And he goes, been eating a lot of red meat? I go, yeah. Been drinking a lot? Yeah, probably been drinking too much. And he goes, And you said you're on testosterone, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, it's probably gout. I was like, what? Excuse me? I was like, excuse me, what? He's like, gout.
You got a little holiday gout?
And I was like, excuse me, what? He's like, gout. I'm like, well, he's like, we're going to x-ray it anyways, but let's see. We x-ray it. And then like 2 seconds after the x-ray, he comes in. He's like, yeah, it's gout. Look. And then he shows me these 2 crystallized, just like circles that are existing on the ball of my foot. So,
what day of Christmas is that in the song? On the 4th day of Christmas,
Your daddy gets the gout.
Because of gout. Okay, great.
So that was before that, like 3 days before that, I already did my, okay, I'm done. I kind of had my, like, this is my last night of drinking. This is even before Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good for now. I'm just going to give it a break. So then that just solidified that choice where it's just like, well, if this is going to do that to my body, because they're just like, if you just quit the alcohol, that'll probably do it. I was like, great, I'm already doing that. And it's just like you said, it's poison. And as much as I enjoy a good beer, if I do it in the future, it's got to be in moderation. But I am totally down with just not doing it for a while, because
nice.
It doesn't feel good.
Oh, and waking up in the mornings and not feeling like, that's the other thing too. All the memes that are like, when I was in my 20s, I could party, and then in my 30s, I have like one beer and I have a hangover. That is, in my experience, is a very true thing. Like, it takes less and less for me to wake up the next day and go like, I just don't feel good. I don't like this. And then because I stopped before the new year, and like really at least cut back, and I was like waking up and going like, oh, this is nice. You get to, are we growing up? Is that what it is, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe realizing there's consequences suffered for choices. So he tells me that I got this, right? I'm like, fuck. Like, sometimes when you get told that you have something or you're experiencing something, at least for me, because I'm used to being in pretty good health, right? It just makes me feel like automatically like dirty.
Yeah, what a piece of what have I
or
shame.
Broken, right? And like I've heard that word before, mostly because I think of an Adam Sandler comedy song back in the day, where he's like, she's got the gout or something like that. So I associate it with something that is kind of funny, but I didn't really educate myself. So now I know what it is. And do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
Gout is an inflammation and crystallization of the joints brought on by uric acid that is like when your body has too much of it from eating like very rich things like red meats or drinking alcohol or stuff like that. Plus, there's probably genetic factors in there or whatever. But what it is, it's like essentially kidney stones in your joints.
In your bones.
Yeah. So
kidney stone bones.
Yeah, and I got like the mildest case of it from going overboard the last month, and I don't want none of that to get worse.
Nope.
So I'm like, I can make some life choices. This is okay.
Well, Joe, do you know what does help with gout?
God,
and the next best thing, one of God's most powerful soldiers, is MeUndies.
Wow.
How are you guys going to change your life in 2023? We are talking about it ourselves. Clearly, we're making changes, even if it's a little stressful sounding, but it is a new year, and for a lot of people, that means big plans, intense resolutions, and tons of pressure to suddenly be a brand new person. But MeUndies, guess what? They already know you're perfect just the way you are, you cutie. So cancel those New Year's plans and make a date with your couch, because the only thing that could possibly be upgraded in your life is your undie drawer. Start your new year off with MeUndies and get 20% off your first purchase, plus get free standard shipping and free returns when you go to MeUndies.com/Valley. You guys know MeUndies. We talk about them all the time. They just sent me a new pair. They're my absolutely favorite people in the world. I'm wearing them right now. Joe is probably wearing them right now. It's all I wear. It's all I ever wear. I have the same ones I've had since the first time I got them. Will never throw them away unless they get stained or holes ripped in them, which in fairness happens because I like to snack while mostly naked. So refresh your undies and your outlook on life with the MeUndies free-to-join membership. Each month, you'll choose a new pair of undies, socks, or a bralette. Yes, that's for you, Joe. That gets shipped right to your door. Plus, you'll save up to 30% on all their snuggly soft stuff that feels better than a hug from your best friend. That's you, Joe. It's like the best gift you could ever give yourself every month. Available in sizes XS through 4XL. Give your butt the best year of its life with MeUndies. The hype is real, everybody. We're not lying to you. If you're not impressed with MeUndies, your first pair is on the house. That is a promise. So, to get 20% off your first order and US free shipping, go to MeUndies.com/Valley. That's MeUndies.com/Valley. Go to MeUndies.com/Valley to get 20% off your first order and US free shipping. Go ahead, do it. It's very fun. Well, Joe, back to your gout. What's that about?
That's all. I think we covered it. Took a couple pills.
Is it better? Are you Yeah,
it's getting there. Yeah. The other part of it was like, because I even thought of it. weeks prior, I was like, woke up one day and I just thought to myself, I'm not drinking water. I'm just like never drinking water. I drink a lot of coffee, but I don't know if I'm drinking water. And then the other thing the guy said was like, you drink a lot of water? I'm like, nope. He's like, you should probably do that. So I just been like sucking down Nalgene.
Any other questions, Doc?
Like it was so like immediate of like, yeah, your life choices have brought you to this moment, and there's really nothing more to say. And I was like, all right, great.
When the doctors have that glimmer in their eye when they know what it is, and they just ask, "What? Yeah, you know what it is. You don't gotta. No, I'm not drinking water. Okay, I'm not. Yeah, I'm drinking a lot. Yeah, all right, I'm not. But it's not water.
It was just such simple things where I'm like, okay, these are choices that I want to make anyways. These now are giving me like real life reasons to do it more so than I already had. And I want to break out of routine anyways. And the other thing that you do to help get rid of it is exercise, which is something that, I strive to do. And unfortunately at this age, as many people know, you'll be like, well, I'm tired today. What's the thing that goes? Yep. Well, I guess the gym.
Especially if, and then you drink the next night and you have a few beers and then you wake up and it's a vicious cycle.
Yep.
It's good to make healthy changes. And if you're listening and you want to make healthy changes, do it. I don't care. Like, whatever. But also don't, whatever. Like, it doesn't, like, just live your truth, dude.
Brought to you by I'm Not Your Father.
Yeah, welcome to I'm Not Your Father. I deal with it and do your thing. Have you been drinking water? I'm not your doctor. Don't care. Anyway.
What about outside of, because I was going to ask everybody that on this podcast, but what about outside of just drinking in general health? What do you want 2023 to bring you, I guess, goal-wise, professionally, school-wise, whatever? Have you thought about that?
Grace and I were talking about, this is a great question. Grace and I were talking about the general resolution of just trying more things. I think Grace and I are going to restart our podcast, and then I would like to just generally make more content again, but I don't know what that, we've talked about this, I don't know what that will or should look like, but it just gets to the point where it's like, I got ideas and opinions on things, and I get my little anonymous accounts that I will go argue with flat earthers with on Reddit. And I can actually have something to say, but I'm not sure the medium. I've thought about Twitch. That's the one where you stream, right?
That's the one where you stream and you talk.
As opposed to Switch, yeah. And then, or just doing YouTube, or just making content again, but doing so in a way that's like for me and not trying to like make it what other people are doing. But I don't know what that looks like. So it's basically trying. It's basically just going like, I want to be more of a... We went to a party with, it was before the holidays, and Keith from Try Guys came up to me and Grace and was like,
lovely,
hey, what
human being. Love him.
Sweetheart. Absolute sweetheart. And he comes up and he's like, what are you guys doing besides hiding your entire personal lives from the internet? And I was like, hey. I was like, somebody noticed that we don't post anything ever about anything. And so even like doing a New Year's post, like everyone's doing those like New Year's dumps. And I was like, I don't know. Okay. And it's like, it just feels like sand or nails against the chalkboard a little bit. So, or sand through the hourglass. But yeah, it was like, oh, okay. So maybe like both of us could be more proactive in just entertaining and in how we want to entertain, and I think that that's exciting. I just don't know what that's going to look like. What about you?
So there's an entertaining. There's still a desire to entertain in some way.
Yeah.
You're not sure how that you want to focus that energy.
Yeah, I want to entertain and also use what I've learned in a way that's not taking itself so seriously. I'm so fascinated by a lot of these like self-help people who are just so what's the word I'm looking for, like saccharine and like you just gotta manifest and you gotta like
everything is a sign that you would pick up at Hobby Lobby, but it's like the human form.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're not saying anything that everybody doesn't already know, but then they're like, buy this course for $1,500 and then you can be like me.
Oh, so you got the Andrew Tate thing too.
I mean, should we just talk about that?
You went to school.
Talk about it. Oh yeah, I got his program. Absolutely. Yeah. The Alpha Lion.
Whatever the fuck it is. So more of a commentary, more of just like, you'd be good at it. You just gotta
I like writing funny monologue type things. It's not like it's not in my wheelhouse. It's just a matter of what medium to make it work and if people like it. But I want to give it like 6 months and see if I can get traction going. And if I can't, then I'll figure something else out. But that would be the overall goal.
You want it to, is it a little bit more of a, started as a hobby? Because the fact that it's been a job has also been kind of like a,
well, it would have to be a hobby just because I doubt it would be sustainable for quite a while. But if it got to be the point where it could be sustainable, then I would just do that because I enjoy writing. I like writing stuff. And then besides that, just school stuff and getting, I'm doing like this next, a couple semesters from now is like the dissertation pitch, which will be a lot. And then I'm trying to get a paper published. So I've submitted that and I'll find out something at the end of this month. So that would be cool. Besides that, it's just reading and doing whatever, and that's just kind of what I do. So it's fun, and then playing Zelda. So that's
if the paper is published, where does it go?
It goes on a specific publication. That's like a peer-reviewed thing, and then it goes to my quote-unquote peers, who then go and do like revisions on it, and then it gets published at some point when they decide, I guess, that it's good. So it would be like a long, arduous process if they even let it get published, because it's not like I have a PhD or anything, and I guess I do have the master, so maybe that will help. But they got back to me and they were like, they have a board of editors that meets at the end of January to discuss.
That's really cool.
So we'll see. Yeah, it's like a good thing. It's like a backup. Like in academia, if you can get published before you graduate, then it helps a lot with if you want to go teach somewhere, if you want to get published like in a book deal or something.
So that's also interesting. Is teaching something that you think might be something you want to do?
Yeah, I would enjoy it very much, but there's not many disciplines that do depth psychology, which is a very niche thing. But yeah, it sounds really fun to do teaching with writing and still doing other stuff.
Collegiate, probably, I would imagine.
Yeah, graduate, something like that.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's the exciting part. It's fun to have the depth psychology as like another little world, but then it's like I've gone so far into that I kind of want to step back out and do like, what kind of comedy do I want to do? Do I want to do stand-up again? And it's like I kind of do, but I kind of don't. And so we'll see how it unfolds.
That's why I think like you could just take a little bit of your philosophy life outlook, mix it with your typically sarcastic fart jokes, and yeah, dude, Twitch / back your Elliot Morgan's happy hour thing 100% could.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, I want to basically be the new Andrew Tate. Like,
somebody's got to fill the role, you know. Somebody has got to fill the role.
Somebody's got to fill those condoms.
Dude, it's so funny. Elliot and I were texting one day, and I just like, I'm pretty sure out of the blue I texted Elliot. I was like, I just don't fucking understand why so many people like Tate. Then it's like we go back and forth on it for like 10 minutes, and we have our theories on it, which are none of them are groundbreaking. And then the next day,
well, just that escalated.
Man, like how beautiful. That was beautiful.
That was like it was one of those news stories that happens where it just feels like a gift, where it's like, this is insane. You couldn't write this. And of course, if you're not familiar, we're talking about Andrew Tate's exchange with Greta Thunberg and him trying to troll her clapping back, him trying to clap back, and then allegedly, the pizza boxes made the authorities aware that Andrew Tate was in Romania, where he was potentially wanted, unbeknownst to other people, for sex trafficking of multiple people and running a crime
forcing them to do OnlyFans.
Yeah, and then the video came out where he's being very aggressive with a lady. And all bad. And then he gets arrested and his house gets raided, and they release footage of his house getting raided, and it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like Mad Libs came to life for a second. It was beautiful.
It felt like the opposite of what the last 6 years have felt like. Like around every corner, the world was just like, you know what? Nah, screw you guys. We're going this direction. And this one time, it was like, here you go. I got a little thing for you. It was like, this is amazing.
hey, it's Christmas. Here's a little Andrew Tate getting arrested for in front of you. And,
it felt so good.
You gotta admit though, I mean, he's a badass.
I know, dude. He's so alpha. Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
I can't. There's the thing, the whole idea of, it's projection, everything, if you don't like something in somebody, it's something that's inside of yourself that you're projecting outward, and it's all very fun, and it's, you only don't like that which you don't like within yourself, and yada, yada, yada. Sometimes I think people just suck, and that's okay to admit that, but listening to Andrew Tate talk is, I think, impossible for me. I don't know what it is, but when I start listening, I'm like, it is so infuriating and so dorky that I can't get. I can't figure out what it is. Like, it's this mixture of, like, do you not see how, like, much of a goober that you are? And people don't, and they're like, he says a lot of good things, actually, if you dive into it. He says, like, he says you should, like, shoot for the stars, and you should, like, try to be your best version of yourself. I'm like, okay, cool.
But also, men own women, and they should be put in their place.
And then women want to be sexually assaulted, and it's like, good God, that guy is. You know what? Here's the good news. I doubt if there's a Venn diagram of people who listen to this podcast and listen to Andrew Tate, I would love for them to come forward, because I have questions.
There might be one, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they see the alpha in us.
Well, all right.
Maybe they feel the alpha that we're radiating.
As we have gout and
God, it's such a lame fucking word for something. It sounds what it's
like
actually called is gouty arthritis.
Oh. Gouty is I'm glad they're doing gout. Yeah.
Little Gouty's my rapper name.
What are your professional or other kind of aspirational New Year's things, Joe?
I wish I had some for you, but it's more than like I want 5 seconds to be able to self-reflect and get to that point.
Yeah, you want a weekend.
It's just been
getaway and a cabin.
Yeah, it's just been a lot the last 6 months alone, if not the last year. I was actually thinking about it today. I mean, it feels like we shut the office down a year ago. It was not. No.
2 years?
Like, it's September. It's like
September of 2021?
No. Oh, is this year?
Nah.
Wasn't it?
2022? No. September? No.
I swear to God.
No way. It would have been 2021.
Was it?
No way. No. We were not in the office in the summer.
Welcome to that's how my years went.
That's Joe's got gout brain.
I swear to God it was this year. Okay, good. Then it was longer before.
That would be I would end this. I would walk out. I would go walk down the street if it was September. That would be, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but no, it's been a while. Here's an aspirational goal.
No, it has been a year. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, we should go hell or high water next weekend. Regardless of what he says, we should go to Steve's place. We're gonna do a gift exchange.
Yes.
For the New Year. In person, we're gonna do an in-person podcast, and we're going to talk to Steve, and we're going to sit him down and have an intervention because of all of the drug use, and we're gonna try to see if he can like get clean or whatever.
Like, it's a lot of meth.
Take the needles out. Yeah. And it's sad, but we love him. And then we'll do a podcast, and then we'll be like, heck yeah, we're back in the groove.
Yeah. It may not be at Steve's. It's been forever. It's been forever.
Oh, it may not be at Steve's?
It'll be at, I think, Kevin's, because the equipment got moved or whatever. But
oh, that's so much better.
It's so much closer to you.
That is so much closer. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, then great. No excuse then. Yeah, I didn't really want to go all the way there. Anyway, so now I don't have to come up with an excuse not to.
There you
Cancel that it. But yeah, so no, but your goal is to have some alone time to reflect, to kind of gather yourself.
Yeah, it's you wish life would slow down a little bit. I don't know if it's going to.
Have you had any dreams lately, Joe?
I have been dreaming, but when I could explain to you what those dreams were 5 minutes after waking up, but I didn't do it, so then it didn't stick in my head. So
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, dude, just trying to figure myself out while at this new job and figuring out my role at that new job and trying to find a groove in it. I feel like I've made some nifty ideas there. I've made some fun videos. I've got to employ former SourceFed editors, which has been cool. Like Kevin's edited there, Kate's edited there, Drew, Owen, and that feels really good. Admittedly, though, still trying to find out like what my day-to-day like existence is there. Other than just wake up and work, but like wake up and try to do like good work and solidify a role that I believe in, and it's
we were saying before we hit record that Grace and I've been watching the Taskmaster, and the only part that bums me out is I watch it and I'm like, this is the moments of brilliance I think that would happen occasionally in Valleyfolk or SourceFed are reminiscent of some of the moments that happen on that show, as well as the general structure of the show, which I feel like you excel at so much. And that dynamic of the host and the sidekick and the people and all that stuff is so your wheelhouse that I would like to see you do the Taskmaster US version, as long as I'm allowed to be on one season.
It'd be very fun. It'd be very fun. It would have to be, I've thought about that before, and I flirted with Alex Horn online once. And
I know.
And they've made a US version, and I haven't watched it, but I heard it's not great. And I honestly believe the reason would be, there's this synergy and magic that Greg Davies and Alex Horn have together. That I still think that they would do an American version, but they still have to be in those chairs. Now, if I could be like helping make games or even be a contestant on it, that'd be great. But they're just so damn good. Greg Davies, is he one of the funniest guys around? Without trying,
mean, it's hard for him not to make me laugh.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything he says makes me laugh, and it's that British humor that just I prefer to the loud and like chaotic American humor.
Now
subtle.
we would get loud and chaotic at SourceFed or on the Valleyfolk, but what I think you are keying in on is that there is a sense of like it doesn't matter. That show that like everybody on it's like it doesn't, like we're just here, we're having fun, and I think that's how we kind of treated those two endeavors. And I think that brings a certain just like amount of calm and ease and accessibility to watching it. I enjoy it.
That's very good. That's a very good commentary.
Yeah.
We'll do our Taskmaster podcast in the new year.
That could be fun. It's not a bad idea.
Episode. Yeah, it's called Taskmaster.
Oh, I wonder if he already has that.
I know. They have the board game, which I'm imagining the board game is not very fun because it requires people to be very funny, but I'm curious what the board game
I think I've seen some tweets. I think Taskmaster, the contingency of that show might be pretty quick with a cease and desist.
Yeah, well, no, they had like the official one. They sell it on the show.
No, but I've heard other things where they're...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is fine. Anyways.
That's good for them.
Let's get out of here.
Joe, go enjoy your day. You're doing work now today?
No, this is my last day before doing work.
Oh, nice.
Which means I'll still probably do a little work today, but...
Sure. I'm going to go write a paper, and that's it.
Hell yeah.
I get hammered. Gonna go have some drinks.
As you should.
All right. Thank you.
It is 2022.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later.